This is a steal for the Edmonton Oilers as they bolster their bottom six with a free agent acquisition. All that and more today on Oilers Digest. But first, I'd like to congratulate the channel on a huge milestone, 3,600 subscribers on the road to 4,000. So if you haven't done so already, folks, make sure you hit that button down below to subscribe to the channel. If you've done so, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for showing love to the channel. We've got a great community going on here, folks. Oil Country. Always love when you guys bring the noise in the comments section, whether it's good or bad. I always love hearing what you all have to say. But the Oilers, again, after the big Andrew Mangiapane signing that Nick covered here on the channel, the Oilers, with a bottom six depth signing, but I am loving every single second of it. Lazar beams. Yes, the Oilers signed free agent Curtis Lazar to a 1-year deal. Yes, that name is familiar. He was a former Edmonton Oil King. He's coming back to Edmonton as the Oilers signed the forward to a 1-year contract with an AAV of 775,000, so league min. A steal of a contract for the Oilers. And yes, as I mentioned, he was the captain of the last WHL team to win the Memorial Cup back in 2014 there. And not only that, but scored the winner in triple overtime over the Valdor Fouriers in the semifinal there. So Curtis Lazar with a clutch touch there on the stick, but in junior he was a scorer, not so much in the NHL, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And not only was he an Oil King, but he's got an Oiler connection as well, as he was a line mate of Connor McDavid at the 2015 World Junior Hockey Championships, where Team Canada won gold there. What a stacked team that is. And again, Lazar was also teammates with Darnell Nurse on that team. So does it matter to, the current situation? Absolutely not. But is it pretty cool? Yes, it is. Lazar and McDavid and Nurse all reunited once again there, as Kris Lazar is currently slotted in as their fourth line center there. After finishing his junior career with the Edmonton Oil Kings, he went on to the Ottawa Senators, who drafted him in the first round in 2012, I do believe it was. Went from Ottawa to the Calgary Flames there, so he's on the other side of the Battle of Alberta for once, and then went to Buffalo, and then Boston, 1 season with Vancouver, and he spent the last 3 years with New Jersey there, as I mentioned. Goal scorer in junior, but he's really carved himself a role into a bottom six defensive kind of guy, but again, you can never have too many of those on your team. And Bob Stauffer loving the signing for the Oilers here. Curtis Lazar returns to Oil Country, key part of the Edmonton Oil Kings 2014 Memorial Cup win. Hardworking, honest, right shot center, 51.2% on faceoffs last season. Slots in as a fourth line center for the Oilers, who can PK as well there. With the loss of Connor Brown to the New Jersey Devils, the Oilers scoop up a New Jersey Devil of their own with Curtis Lazar there. You can see his RonoHockey.com stat card. Again, doesn't really bring a whole lot of offense to the table there, but I'm sure whoever you stick on his wings will do most of the offensive heavy lifting for them. But the Oilers brought him in, as I mentioned, right-handed center who can PK in, is really good on face-offs too. So the Oilers, again, absolute steal of a contract there. And just taking a look at another analytics card here for Curtis Lazar. When it comes to, the type of contract that he's on, again, the offensive shortcomings, you can look past that. I mean, he was brought in for one specific skill set there, and I mean, the Edmonton connection doesn't hurt him whatsoever there. So Stan Bowman, very quiet first 2 days of free agency for Stan the man, but again, loving what he's bringing so far to the table in this offseason. They're not overpaying on, Connor Brown, Corey Perry, or John Klingberg, but again, bringing in Andrew Mangiapane, I thought, his day was over yesterday after canceling his presser. But late in the night, I mean, I even woke up to, I was asleep when the Oilers made that signing, and I woke up to Andrew Mangiapane being an Edmonton Oil. Another great signing there. Nick covered that in a previous video. But we go on to the depth here for the Oilers. Lots of centers, but not enough spaces here. As Connor McDavid, obviously the first line center. Leon Draisaitl, Nugent-Hopkins can slot into center whenever you can. If he's not with McDavid, he's probably centering his own line. But again, a logjam. As Trent Frederick mentioned, he wanted to play a little bit of center this year. And then you have guys like Adam Henrique in Matthias Janmark there, and even Noah Phillip. I mean, there's going to be a big spot for that fourth line center role for the Oilers. I mean, the bottom six, the two center spots up for grabs for either of these guys here, whether it be Henrique, Lazar, Janmark, or Noah Phillip, or a dark horse with David Tomasek there. So this could lead to a move for the Oilers to move one of these guys out, more specifically either, a guy like Mattias Janmark or Adam Henrique, but it's easier said than done when it comes to trying to move one of these two guys, as the Oilers only have $175,000 in cap space there. They could, sit on that and let that accrue for the trade deadline, or again, they could either move one of these guys when it comes to, moving a guy like Adam Henrique. Again, very difficult as he has a no move clause there. And it doesn't look like he's on his way out in Edmonton. Really likes the city of Edmonton. There were numerous reports that the Oilers were trying to facilitate a trade for Adam Henrique, but I'm willing to bet that he waived his no-move clause there, and it'd kind of be, a Bush League move to, scratch Adam Henrique to try to get him to waive his no-move clause. He's a formidable center there. He can win faceoffs. He's on the PK, but again, at that cap hit, just a little bit too expensive for my liking. I mean, I would have loved Adam Henrique, 10 years ago, and he had a really good past 2 seasons for the Oilers, but you can tell, age is starting to catch up. Father Time always undefeated when it comes to, these vets, and Adam Henrique is just another one of these victims here. But also another candidate, a little bit easier to move, is Mattias Janmark. Yes, the janitor, fan favorite in Edmonton, but unfortunately, I think his time may be coming to an end there. He's always, had those clutch playoff moments, but in the regular season, the Oilers have lots of guys who can PK. Mattias Janmark, one of them, so he's very, very expendable there. You can see 1.45 million, so it's not that bad. But again, for a bottom 6 guy, the Oilers have to be, sort of penny pinching in this at this point of the offseason. But Mattias Janmark, a little easier to trade there with a 10-team no trade list. So I mean, there's 21 teams, I should say, not including Edmonton there, that, the Oilers can trade him to, so it should be a little bit easier. I mean, selling Mattias Janmark to several teams, I mean, all they have to do is just, show, the Game 7 goal against the Florida Panthers. That is exactly what Mattias Janmark brings to the table there. But with the lack of cap space that the Oilers have, the remaining UFA on their forward list with Jeff Skinner, you can pretty much use this video as a formal goodbye to Jeff Skinner, as the Oilers, I don't think, will bring him back. Stevie Wonder saw that coming with the way that Kris Knoblauch deployed Jeff Skinner throughout the regular season in the Stanley Cup playoffs there. So Jeffrey, hopefully your new team treats you a lot better in the long run there. He certainly deserves a better shot with another team. But that is it for today's video. Let me know all what you think down in the comments there with the Oilers' 4th line spot. Who should it go to? Lazar, Noah Phillip, Mattias Janmark. I mean, lots of options here. David Tomasek, the European free agent that they brought over. Again, lots of options for Kris Knoblauch in his coaching staff, whoever that may be heading into the season. I mean, he's still got to pick a whole bunch of assistant coaches to begin with, as his entire bench, all of their contracts expired. But again, let me know down in the comments, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe here to the channel, folks. Free agency has just begun, and we are just getting started here on the channel, so subscribe for any and all Oiler content. Take care, folks. Have a great rest of the day. I'm Matt.